Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 7:02, May 6, 2017. I'd figured I'd record this before I actually give you the 7/14th post, because I guess you can consider this a prelude, a prequel, like Star Wars, a prequel. I want everyone to know something, and this is very important for me. If you're getting this video is pretty much the response video of the 7/14 post. Why have I decided to record this before the post? Very simple. I want a select few of people to know who I'm talking to specifically. And I want this to be as well thought out and strategized. I want to get something off my chest, and I want to get it off soon. I want to get it off quick. I want to get it off badly. And I want to make sure that everything is off the table. Now, if you're watching this, you probably are listening to me upload this after the July 14th Heartbreak Kid story. Like I said, this is your prequel. Or the one before is considered a prequel. I don't know how this stuff works. I gotta go back to English class. That's why I'm going back to school. Wink, wink. Anyway, considered the 7/14th Heartbreak Kid story a prequel. Because if you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure not a lot of people would care. But the people who I am talking to probably saw this video. Probably saw that video and want answers as to why I'm doing this. So, this is my answer why. So without further ado, let's get started. This is the Heartbreak Kid story. The tale between two gingers. Now, I don't know what volume this is, because I am going to have a lot of other heartbreak stories in between or before this. Regardless, all I know is this is the tale between two gingers edition of the Heartbreak Kid stories. Now, I'm going to protect the identity of one person. I would like to protect the identity of two people, but God forbid if certain people look at my profile and stalk me and they see a certain history, I would at least like for myself to put it out on the open before anyone else does. So the reason why the other person was mentioned is because her name was already out in the public to begin with. So I'm not going to act like, her name wasn't put out there. So here we go. The first person, whose name shall remain nameless, I tried to splice this into two. I tried to make a video, but I figured this is better. And also, I kind of want to have the Casino for Life sound background, I guess, with the fan playing and the AC. Just this time, people can hear me through this microphone. Sort of. So, here we go. Now, this woman, whether she wants to believe it or not, plays the biggest role in my love life. No matter who came before me and who came after me, she has an important role. And it's been played because of how my mind thinks now and how it was back then. And you could say, well, what about the girl in the first story? Nope, bigger than that. Well, what about... Nope, bigger than that. Trust me, she plays a huge role. And before I go any further, I want this person and the other person and the person I made in the prequel to know that this is not done out of malice. This is not done out of hate. This is not done out of any type of... This is done out of therapy. At the end of the day, I just want to reflect on the past and also get it off my chest. But because I'm tired of talking about this. And I know you're probably going to assume that I'm playing victim. Oh no, in this story, there's going to be one side and another side. I'm in the wrong in this situation as well. In many ways. And this video is going to take a long time. Both this part and the prequel. So I want everyone to pretty much be mindful of how long this is going to be, because I'm trying to get every story. There's going to be things I forgot, but I have to draw it all out. Now, let's start from the beginning. There's this girl who I met through a friend of hers mother. I met the mother and her friend at a bar that I usually go to. You know, I'm used to meeting her. I'm having fun, and I get closer to her mother, at least conversation-wise. Nothing personal, you know. We've never dated or done anything, you know, crazy, but we talked on personal levels. Unfortunately, I got in my feelings, because I end up having a crush, even though this woman literally has stated that she's too old for me, but I wanted something else. There, she wanted me to hang out at a karaoke night segment at the bar that I went to. And there I met two people. I met the first ginger, and I met Angela Fontenote. Now, as you already know, if you're just listening, Angela Fontenote is the person who I talk about in the video, in the prequel video. So, in case you're wondering, tune in and listen to the story then. Otherwise, those who are tuning in this video because they heard the prequel, well, you know what kind of person she ended up becoming. In my eyes, and my eyes at least. Now, as I'm moving on after her friend's mother, who was a teacher at Wellington Landings Middle School and who was also a teacher of my sister when she was in West Palm Beach for a little bit until she went back to Jacksonville when she was done with middle school. I started to get to know these two. We had a good time. We had a great time during the karaoke night. Angela could sing. You know, she could sing. She didn't draw me, but she can sing. But I had a lot of fun with her best friend, the girl responsible in the story. Now, I think I told this girl once, but when I first saw Angela, I thought she was gorgeous. I thought she was beautiful. I thought she was amazing. But when we got into a conversation, oh my God, she's as dry as a brick. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, her personality could bend a crowbar. That's how hard it was. And stiff she was. Like, and she has osteoporosis. I'm assuming it doesn't count for her personality because it's very, very stiff and hard to move. But at least that's what it came off to me. So, I am having fun with her best friend, who has a bit of a personality. Now, there was a manager who ran the bar for a while, who was friends with Angela and the girl. And he mentioned that she was a redhead. Now, I have a thing for redheads. Hence the name of the story. I've always had a thing for redheads. Or at least I've had a thing for redheads for quite some time. That's just me. That's just how it was. So I gravitated towards this woman even closer. But my heart was settled on her best friend's mother. Even though I wasn't really worried about this girl, I was worried about Angela. I was like, when will I get to see Angela again? Then the girl gave me her Facebook profile. I sent a request to her and she became my friend. She didn't accept it, but she didn't reject it. So I was waiting for at least a good month till she accepted it. Now, she was also you know, being introduced to another friend who worked at the bar, the manager's friend, and she was being encouraged to work at the bar. Now, you know, she was pursued and all this stuff, and yet she was like, I don't know, but I'm over here like, come on, do it. Even though I was a regular at the place, I wanted this girl to work there. So she signed up. Then a week later, she got the job, and I was happy to see her. And eventually, ended up talking to her. I tried to set something up with her, because I wanted to do something with her, and yet, nothing happened. We were supposed to do something at a park. Me and this girl, we were supposed to do something at the park, and yet, when I went there, she was still sleeping, and by the time I got home, she got up. Now, I didn't know her sleep schedule's pretty healthy, I should say. This woman can average 8 hours of sleep. I can't even average 4 without being interrupted. So, she gets a clap from me. Or at least sort of. But I didn't know that. And at the time, I was hurt. And I really wanted to see her. I wanted to see her so bad. I was reminiscing before I'd done all these videos and all the... On the way home, I was reminiscing. All the girls. And they barely scratched the surface of the Heartbreak Kid series. I was like, oh, I remember I asked this girl out. I remember I asked this girl out. I remember I asked this girl out. I remember I wanted to do this. I'm going to be so happy when I finally found someone. But I was disappointed. Not saying these were her intentions, but I was disappointed. Greatly. And I'm just shaking my head at all of this. Sure enough, I get insecure, I get bothered, I get upset, because I wanted to see this girl. I wanted to see her so badly. I was so disappointed. I took a week off from going to that place. I actually ended up going on a Wednesday. But by the time then, she wasn't there. She had got suspended for doing a no-call, no-show. So by the time she did come back, I finally... And this was on my sister's birthday, May 24th, 2014. You know, which really sucked because... As I record this, you know, I only got like 18 more days. But it was trash. The feeling was terrible. And I'll never forget it. I asked this girl out. I told her how I felt. You know, on my sister's birthday, they were going to an anime convention. I could have went. I had the day off. They're going on more than one day, and they're coming back later on that night, which really blew chunks, because I took that day off for nothing. But I wanted to look good to ask this girl out. So I came to this girl, stayed there for a while, and then after we waited outside, I asked this girl out. Now let me remind you, seeing this girl work, seeing this girl do all this is nice. It was great. It was beautiful. It was like watching an angel. Like, I completely forgot about Angela Fontenot, and I thought about this woman. But I asked this girl out. And this girl told me she had a boyfriend. In my mind, I'm thinking I am 1 week late. One week late. And this guy came to scoop her up the next day. This guy came to visit her. Now, how they met, they'd known each other for a while. They met each other for a while. They dated each other for a moment. But she didn't really started falling for this guy until earlier on. So she says. But I'm not here to question her. This is not my goal. This guy flew to Florida. I was devastated. Devastated. I mean, devastated. So I'm hurt. Not by her. She didn't do nothing wrong but tell me the truth. She wanted to be friends. But I thought to myself, I don't want to do that, because then I'm going to intentionally try to get closer to her. And that's not something I want to do. For her sake and my sake, I rejected hugging her and just called a cab home. And I was down. So, being down, I get into this video game. Actually, no. I take that back. Beforehand, I finally see her on Thursday. Apologize, because she felt like she told me eventually she was hurt by that. But I didn't know that. I mean, she needs to understand. I like the girl. And I'm devastated that I can't be with her. But I shrugged it off, and I minded my own business like it was nothing. She gets picked up by her little brother, and she goes home. And I go home. Then Saturday, May 30th happened. I'll never forget it. During this time, I'm trying to move on. And I'm like, okay, let me talk to this other girl who I considered one of the top hottest girls in the bar. And I'm just like trying to get over this girl because now she has a boyfriend. Man, the universe wasn't having it. They wanted to make sure they weren't letting me get fucked over. So I talked to this other chick who worked with her at the store, like, hey, I like this chick, blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, really? Let me see. Oh, I know who this is. She's talking to this other guy. And I'm going to give you advice. Move on. Unfortunately, I did. So now I went back to this girl. I went back to chasing her. Which was a bad idea, but, you know, what'd you expect? Then, Saturday, May 30th, the worst day in my life happened. You know, at this time, I was thinking, let me see this girl after work. I go to this girl. I see this girl. I'm having a hard time saying hello. Then she gets picked up by her boyfriend. I was heartbroken. And then there was a girl I was trying to get rid of her with, and she's over here getting engaged to this guy, and they're leaving to freaking Australia. Boy, I was so hurt, and nobody can understand the pain I was feeling. Man, that was the worst day of my entire life. I sat at a stool where everyone was having fun. I was about to cry. I literally was about to cry. So a gentleman, a friend of mine named Juan, came up to me and he was like, hey man, he tried to strike a conversation. I tried to strike one back. It was hard, but I was trying to. And Juan was like, something wrong? And I wanted to tell him. I was going to cry. He said, hey, look, it's okay. You don't have to talk about it. We can talk about it some other time, man. He tried to get me something to drink, but I called my friend Edgar to just come pick me up because he was like, hey, you can come pick me up. And I said, okay, yes, please do. So he went and me and my friend went downtown, and I got extremely drunk. And I was off the next day. The next day I didn't even want to get out of bed. That's how bad it is. I didn't even want to get out of bed. And I was hurt. I didn't want to tell this girl this because I didn't want to put her in a very bad spot. But that was a really, really, really depressing situation. The reason why I wanted to ask this girl out is because so many people at this bar, so many of my coworkers, they seen this girl, they seen the picture, and it was the first time people were rooting for me. This was the first time people were rooting for me. Like wanting me to be with this girl. Like I like this girl And I'm thinking she liked me. This girl... Well, you know what? That one I'm going to edit out. Because I can't... Not edit out. That one I'm going to leave out. Because I don't want to put words in people's mouth. But I had the assumption that she liked me back. And everyone was behind it like, yeah, go ahead. You got a chance. Talk to this girl. You have a chance. And I'm just like, yes, I will do this. But I was disappointed. Because I tried to be with this girl. I tried my everything. And when I saw the picture of her and her boyfriend, I was so drunk. I went home rapping to angry rapping to a lot of music. So I was mad. But what's done is done. And it was hard. It was hard getting into professional wrestling, the shows that I usually watch on TV, and it was hard listening to music because she would be in the back of my mind and I couldn't get her out of. And if you guys think y'all heard worse, this is just part one. I would like to take you guys on a quick commercial break. And when I get back, we will continue the next part of the tale between two gingers. Don't go nowhere. Good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your usual YouTuber blogging. I'm here to plug another thing that I like to call, and it's a friend of mine's YouTube page. His name is Lord Aries 90. Good news indeed. Lord Aries 90. Follow him on YouTube. It's a gaming channel where he streams video games live. You know, you can tell he has games like Xenoverse 2, Assassin's Creed, you know, Attack on Titans. Like, he has a lot. Overwatch, you name it. WWE 2K17, you name it. He's talented. He's amazing at what he does. I recommend you go to his YouTube page, subscribe, like, share his videos. He's a personal friend of mine, and once again, this guy's not asking me any favors. Trust me, I need my royalties if that's the case. I know you're tired of I know you guys are tired of me saying that, but trust me, I'm broke. I don't. These things are favors, not favors, but I do these for the love. I do this for the love of my comrades, and I am urging you guys. Lord Aries 90, link is in the description. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Signing out. Hello. Welcome back. Had to take a good moment to myself to recharge my batteries. Now this is 8:34. Same day as recorded. And going back to my story. As far as that was concerned, seeing her together with her boyfriend, the woman, I was down. I felt like there was no hope. Then I started playing this video game. It was called Fortune. Once I finally was able to see her, and see her, she started talking to me. She started texting me, at least just to say hello and play some video games with her. As far as the Wartune game is concerned, it made me feel wanted again. and everything seemed well. But I was still bothered because I didn't want to cause anything. One moment her boyfriend sent me a private message on the game saying, talk to me, talk dirty to me, help me get my mind off. Sorry. Talk dirty to me, help me get my mind off, such and such, her boyfriend. So I casually told her I like her red hair, and he's like, and I seen the response saying, my red hair? Oh, this is such and such, by the way. Yeah, her boyfriend tricked me into talking dirty to her, and I almost complied. Now, she said she didn't like that her boyfriend played characters, played as her to get a cheap laugh when she used her account, but that made me feel a type of way. I felt like crying because I felt like I was being taken advantage of, even though she said that's not the type of girl she was. I started feeling very insecure around this girl, because now I started catching feelings. She wanted me to do things with her. It's just, at this moment, I was really catching feelings for this girl. And what hurt is, during this June month, as everything was ending, her and her boyfriend had a big falling out. And I made her feel better. Back-to-back days. It made me feel good. Because I felt like I was trying to cheer her up. And this is during the time they're having a huge falling out. And I'm thinking she broke up with her boyfriend. This is great. Maybe I have a chance. Little did I know. And I mean, little did I know. Little did I know that it's going to take a lot more. And I've learned this in life. It's going to take a lot more than some argument, some quarrel, some falling out, some issue, some beef. Whatever situation, it's going to take a lot more than that to just automatically get her to like you, or I learned if you want to get a girl to like you, the best way to get a girl to catch feelings for you is no way at all. Yes. Sure, maybe y'all could try it out and have, I don't know what it's like to have sex with each other. I don't know what it's like to date each other. But if you're talking about getting her to be involved in your life, you cannot force her to do that. Only she could. Only she could catch feelings for you. Just like she didn't force you to catch feelings for her. It's not her fault, it's your fault. It was my fault. But I didn't know that at the time. So I'm thinking she's breaking up with her boyfriend. And this is awesome. I hung out at her house once. We're doing something already. Then I hang out at her house twice. And I'm thinking everything's going great. And I really started catching feelings. I didn't want to be sure, but the first time she said she loved me, even though she didn't mean it in that way, I took it that way. First time she said she loved me, I said it back. I even told myself, I know she's not meaning that anything more than a friend, but if she says that two more times, I'm going to say it back, and the feelings are never going to go away. This girl told me she loved me again. And I said, I said it back. And I said, if she says this one more time, I'm done. She said it the third time, and that was it. I officially gave my heart away to this woman. I gave my heart away. That was it. I was done. I was done. There's nothing you can say or do to change my mind. I'm in love with this woman. And one day, I'm going to ask this girl out. Now I get the confidence. I write the note, and now I'm ready to just surprise her. I have all this plans. Like, I'm going to ask her out. This will be the end of this. I wrote a story about her to make this so great, about being with her, doing stuff with her, figuring out who she is. Then I write the love note. But my biggest mistake was flashing it all over social media. I shouldn't have done that. Because now that led to Angela being very nosy, and me being embarrassed. And then that conversation I told you about in the prequel, it just really burnt a hole, because everyone is on my side, and it seemed like Angela was the only person against it. And I respected her, but I also was envious of her for it. And why? I am a freaking 21-year-old man worrying about what a 22-year-old girl is thinking. What kind of sense does that make? What kind of sense did that make? None whatsoever. But it bothered me. It bothered me, and it bothered me even more that it didn't bother her. Like, she was just going on as far as her own business. And although I try to relay the message to this girl, her thing was, oh, she's just being overprotective. And I'm telling her, okay, well, I have a little bit of respect for her. She's like, that is so sweet. I tell her, please, don't call that sweet. I don't want to be called sweet. Being called a sweet dude doesn't make me have a relationship. I hate being called sweet. I hate being called all this stuff. But then I guess she had a few to drink, and she just said, what do you mean? What's going on? Why do you believe this? And I don't know, at first I was joking, but she seemed like it bothers me. At the time, it really didn't. I was joking. I was literally joking. And she finessed me into thinking that there was something wrong with me, when at the end of the day, when it came to that and that only, making a joke like that, there was nothing wrong with me. I was just being funny. But what hurt me in this conversation, this Skype conversation, this July 31st going on August 1st, 2014 Skype conversation, was the fact that this girl said This girl said 5 things to really hurt me. I mean, you don't understand. This girl said, look, Jamil, I know you like me, but not like that. I don't like you like that. It hurt. It hurt to hear that. It hurt to really hear that. And then she ended up saying the next 5 words to really hurt me, and that was, my heart belongs to insert boyfriend's name here. She said that her heart belonged to her boyfriend. I was terribly hurt. That burned a hole in my chest. It really did. And at that time, I thought to myself, as she said, you know, I'm sorry you feel a type of way, but you have to deal with it. I sat there quiet, contemplating on not wanting to see her anymore, because it wasn't worth it. Why should I be around a woman that I can't be with? Like they said, the friend zone. It's better than nothing. Keep saying it's better than nothing. If you know she don't like you like that, it is not better than nothing. You can get out. Don't waste your time. Just leave. Then this woman stopped, and I guess she noticed that I was quiet. I don't know if that was for her to try to cheer me up. I hope not. But she said, you're my best friend. All the guys that I've been with were all because they were best friends. You are my best friend. Now initially I would think, oh, I got hope after all. I got a chance after all. There is a chance. I have a chance. I'm her best friend. Right? I would have never believed myself to be her best friend. You see, you hear that, Angela? No, she's probably not hearing that. She's not even caring. But according to the message, I would have never stepped on that. I would have never gone out there and jumped out the window and said it had she not tell me that. Now, I can't prove it over a Skype conversation, but I can definitely feel hurt. That, you know, you would believe that you would, you know, it was just a terrible thing. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And next thing you know, I would watch the first ever Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Since it was on August 1st, I rode into the movie theater. But as I took the bus to get my paycheck at my old job and cash my check, I felt nothing but extremely confused and mixed feelings. I have a chance, but her heart belongs to said boyfriend. Why? Why do I feel this way? I tried watching the movie to cheer me up, and my mind was too distracted. It's not her fault, but I felt robbed. I could have ended the friendship there, but I chose to stay just because all her boyfriends started off as best friends. What am I, some player on the freaking draft lottery waiting to be the number one pick on the team? No, that's not how that should be, and that's how that shouldn't be. And to all you guys who've been friend zoned, not saying this girl quote unquote friend zoned me, but to all you guys just waiting for this woman to be the one for you, don't waste your time. If you feel like you're the backup boyfriend, you are. Find yourself a main. Why be a freaking option when you are a priority? When you should be a priority. And I'm not saying this girl made me an option or didn't make me an option, but I'm saying I felt like one. And as much as she probably would have hated that I did this, didn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I could have done something. I could have done something different. But what's done is done, and I stay like a moron. But it's okay. Nothing wrong with me being a moron, because in life you learn, and I learned a valuable lesson from this whole ordeal. Throughout the month of August, I felt like I was being teased, but as long as she kept talking to her boyfriend, it kept killing me on the inside. Killing me. Killing me. Killing me. And that's something Angela will never understand. When I kept, in my prelude, in my pre-call, when I kept asking her for advice and she kept shutting me off. Does she know what it's like to be rejected? And the woman watching this, I want you to answer that. And to the woman I'm going to address later on in the video, I want you to answer that. Has Angela Fontenot been through this? I want to know. And if so, why am I not being told how to move on and understand this? I look at her being in a happy relationship. With this guy that she doesn't understand where I'm coming from. I'm feeling like she don't understand, like I said in my last video. And during this time, you just kept defending her. But I kind of tried to understand because at the time you were new. I was new to you guys. I was getting to know you guys. So I swallowed it, took it on the chin, and understood. And I tried to be your friend. I appreciate what this girl's done to my birthday. Buying me drinks. Getting all me and her friends drunk. It's a great experience. That is until September 27th. 2014. When this girl would eventually go to the Upper West Side to see her boyfriend. While he was getting surgery. And the day he was getting surgery was on my aunt's birthday. September 30th. Yeah, my lousy aunt. Yeah, so my aunt's responsible for making me miserable, so I blame her. But this is not what this video is about. It's about the fact that she left. This girl left, and I felt hurt. Not betrayed, but hurt, because now I'm giving more clues to accept the fact that I can't have her, and she's going to move on and move up with this guy. But the thing is, during the party, I asked this girl's other friend what her boyfriend does for a living, and this guy told me that her boyfriend is an investor in stocks. That's when I felt criminally immature, because now I look at it as he made so much money he's not even working. He's staying home, playing games, chilling. And this girl didn't even have to go to... This girl hit a life hack. Now, far be it from me to say that this woman is a gold digger. I will not say that. I'm not going to say it, and that's not coming out of my mouth. But the situation's too coincidental. Once again, I will never blame her for the situation. But I knew I was no match for this kid. She was financially safe. But also, he could relate to her. He was in the anime she was into. She taught him to watch other things while they're in Utah. It killed me. The day I found out she was going to the Upper West, I got the drunkest I'd ever went. That was the first time I ever drank a pitcher by myself. And I wanted what I can afford, and I wanted something that was powerful. It was an IPA Goose Island pitcher, and I drank the whole thing. I was drunk. "2014 will be some of the drunkest days I've ever had. Maybe not constantly waking up with a hangover, but waking up angry or depressed or empty. Because I drank myself into emptiness. I was an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic because of that situation. It hurt me. Hurt me because I couldn't have this girl. And it just get worse. And it got worse. When I would see pictures of this girl, the first picture that really killed me on the inside was this picture of her with her shirt with her boyfriend, and her shirt said, "I love my boyfriend." That hurt me. I tried to teach myself how to drive, how to drive. I tried to teach myself how to drive. I tried, but I didn't have the energy to do anything because in the back of my mind, that was just done to impress her, and it just made me feel emptier inside. That I gave up things quickly. And what hurt? Once again, asking Angela for help and her just turning me down. And, you know, I'm just like, I'm so hurt. And like I said, this is not this girl's fault. This girl has done nothing to me. Nothing to me. I had every ability to walk away, but I chose to stay because I felt like in the end it gets better. But there were certain signs that tell me holding on is more painful than letting go. Letting go is more relieving than holding on. And I had every right to let go and cut her off. And I wanted to tell her, like, such an Angela's, Angela telling me, well, I should just not talk to her. No, I want it to be proper. But the problem was, I wanted to make a big spectacle on it. And the biggest mistake I ever did was try to cut her off only to give her the intentions of coming back. If you're going to cut off, it shouldn't matter to you. If you want to take them back, that's fine. But if you're going to cut someone off, you should cut them off with the intentions of cutting them off. Understand that it's over, get your word in, and leave. That's how that works. It don't work the way I did it. And there'll be times where I would warn her and let her know. At one point, she was going to be pregnant. The first time she got a pregnancy scare and there was a possibility it could have happened, I literally wanted to cry again because it went back to me being too late to ask this girl out, and now she's pregnant with a rich man. And now it seemed like the second time she was going to be pregnant, despite the fact of her having her little situations, I was ready to cut her off. I was like, it's time, 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 it's time. She comes back, I'm probably just not going to see her. I just want to be rid of her. My biggest mistake in doing this was putting my feelings out on social media. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. And I hope I never want to do that shit again. The girl that I fell in love with. I was in love, or at least I thought I was in love with this girl. Because I could relate. I could do all this. You don't understand. This girl made me feel a type of way. That was until I made the biggest mistake. I said a post about her if she would ever have a kid, and she got mad at me. Deservingly so. But I tried to be strategic just to finesse her into getting her to say that she had feelings for me, and it backfired on me. What did I do? While she didn't want to talk to me, I kept begging like an idiot. And by the time that she finally forgave me, I took that shit personal. I came crawling back to her. And at that moment, she had me in the grip of her palm. The 2014 year did not end well for me because I was all up into this girl. But the good news is, it all gets better. Gets better. It wasn't like that for a long time. Because once December ended, it got better for me. And I would like to end on that note for now. And we'll be right back after the next intermission. Don't go nowhere. Good evening. This is your friendly neighborhood YouTube man, Shake Master J speaking here. And I come to you for another advertisement just because I'm bored. Free PC audio recorder. Yes, free. I mean, that's everyone's favorite word if you're not making six figures already. Even if you're making six figures, free is everyone's favorite word. I know it's my favorite word. Free PC audio recorder pretty much speaks for itself. You don't need no fancy method. You don't need no fancy. It's not like too fancy. If you want something simple, if you don't want to, you make videos, you want to record your voice for projects or anything like that, what you pretty much have to do is you get this, you download the app, and that's it. Just click start, pause, stop, and view the logs that you've recorded your voice on. You can record your voice for as long as you can. If you've seen my unpopular opinion videos, you know that I can go for literally 30 minutes, and I'm not playing. I'm telling you, free PC audio recorder is amazing. You'll love it. I recommend you download this in case you can't afford anything else. Link will be in the description to get it. Great Master J, signing out. What's up, everyone? I'm back with part 3, and this time I'm not stopping. So you guys can already tell it's been an hour into this story, with two parts being more than 30 minutes. This one's going to be much longer, a lot longer. So for those that got to hear the story, I'm glad you did. And for those that listened all the way, I appreciate it, because I want you guys to know how serious this story is. I really do. So here we go. Like I said, as the year 2014 ended, it ended badly. It ended with me being an alcoholic, me submitting my will, almost like I'm selling my soul to this woman. And when this woman did apologize, she told me, there are girls that were to go up to her and tell her that, this, that, and the third. I would do this, make a post about this. I felt uneasy about it. And then I felt upset because I felt like no one told me and let me know that there was an issue. And, when I found out that Angela and her other friend were doing something about this, I tried to let this woman know that I felt a type of way. But all she did was kept defending her, which hurt. And even one point in the conversation, she said, hey, no one cares about your bad year. And that hurt me. It didn't hurt me at the time, but it hurt me because it felt like, wow, then you are fake caring the whole time. I mean, I literally told you before this conversation that I wanted to kill myself. Didn't tell you why, but the reason why I wanted to commit suicide was because you were taken. And you didn't care about that. During the conversation when we were Skyping each other, you and your boyfriend laughed. I seen both of you laugh at me. As if you weren't taking me seriously. But I didn't say anything, I didn't do anything, and I let it slide. And it hurt. And I hope you are listening all the way to this, because I want you to know how I feel. Otherwise, if you're just going to listen halfway or a quarter and just stop listening because you felt like you've listened to enough, then if you have questions to say to me, I don't want to hear it until you hear the full hour plus. So you got to listen to the whole video. And then I'll be able to conversate with you. But it felt like you didn't take me seriously. But I still stuck around. And that was my fault. I could have left then and there. I could have ended it then and there. But I didn't because I wasn't smart enough to. And my whole year was angry. I've tried to fight suicide. I fought, I developed an eating disorder where I chose not to eat. I purposely didn't eat. I couldn't eat because I was so depressed. Like, I fought everything. But when 2014 ended, it started turning. Things started coming to play. I started to make a change for myself. I was watching a Monday Night Raw episode, and there was a wrestler by the name of Ryback who cut a promo on stage bought a book called The Secret, and this self-help book, from what he said, put him in a more, when you see him in interviews, it put him in a more safe mind state. I bought that book. Initially, I was thinking that this book, I could use this book to get this girl. But it was more than that. I've learned. It was about making me and me only move up. And I knew that. Certain people, I was happy at certain times, but then there'll be times where I would look very perplexed, and certain people would catch me and say, oh, you have that look on your face. But I'm like, no, I'm fine. There'll be times where I'm thinking, I want to be with this girl. I should, but she's still with this guy. But there'll be times where I wanted to talk to her. There'll be times where I would say the simplest thing, and yet she would accuse me of certain situations, which caught me by surprise because, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not, how I am. I would say, well, I know you're busy, but it's this. You're like, you're pointing the finger at me with such and such, blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. I've seen the way you've done disrespect. My boy, I'm like, whoa, it's not even that serious. But rather than say that, I acted like it was my fault and said, I'm sorry. Then I realized something. I told myself, why did I just apologize? Now this woman's gonna try to use me every time. And then end up sending a friend request to a person and enters this person named Tina Marie Gallo. Now I want all you guys to pay attention to that name because that name's going to be very important. This woman accepted my friend request and she starts getting closer to this girl, to the girl. And meanwhile, I'm trying to, talk to other girls to try to move on. But in this case, I knew I wasn't over her because my intent was to make the girl jealous when I was talking to a woman by the name of J and all these other people, just hopefully to get to get this girl jealous. And while I'm doing this, I realize a huge mistake is being made. I'm still on this girl, no matter what. No matter how self-helped I'm at, no matter how the universe works, I'm still getting this girl jealous. I'm still trying to be with this girl. I still want to be with this girl. This girl is blocking my blessing. So something had to be done. During this time, now I'm being more open with my feelings as she's advised me. She said, be open, stop hiding your feelings. So I started telling her how I felt. I started openly expressing how I felt. And she told me she liked them. From texting, to emails, to gaming, to, all this stuff. She would tell me. She would enjoy what I would say. Certain pictures I would say was like, you're so sweet. Until I started calling myself the best. And now all of a sudden she disagrees with that statement, that I'm the best. Oh no, you have potential to be the best. No, I am the best. There ain't no potential. There ain't nothing. I'm the best. Because I am the best boyfriend ever. I am the best this ever. I am the best. Not because I'm better than people, but because I know my self-worth. And I know it to be high to the highest extent. You cannot put a price on self-worth. And those who try, well, I already have my opinion on those people. But my self-worth is through the roof. And that's something she needs to know. There were certain things she said she tried to let me know I was being disrespectful. But yet, without telling me and giving me the ultimatum that we should only be friends, this woman this woman would do things that I would deem cowardly, and that's tell other people to tell me. And my beef is, if it was a problem, you can tell me yourself. Be strong enough. I don't want to hear it through Angela. I don't want to hear it through this gentleman here in a video game. I do not want to hear this through a British guy in a video game. I don't want to hear it from this. I don't want to hear it from this girl in Tennessee. I want to hear it from you. You're the one that feels uncomfortable. You should speak up. But you choose not to. And in my opinion, that's your damn fault. That is your fault that you didn't speak up. It's not my fault that I'm doing something that you can speak up on, that you had a year and a half to speak up on. That is your fault. That is your fault. And you know it. You knew it. But what can I say? And then when I confronted on you, I said, I told you, well, this, that, and the third. And you're like, well, actually I didn't do that. But I told him you could talk to him, but he didn't have to. He told me what you said. This gentleman told me what you said. This gentleman even said that after I confronted you about it, and you made a big deal, you told him that he made it worse. No, this guy did not make it worse. You didn't know what I was going to do. And you took it out on him. It felt like you were sending the wolves on me. And it hurt. It really, 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 really hurt. Seeing what you've done, it hurt. Because I was trying so hard to make the best out of the situation. But then it just gets worse. It literally gets worse. And here's how it gets worse. I'm scrolling through something you might want to listen to a little bit But I'll get to it. This girl, one day, me and this girl are talking. We're having a conversation. And I'm openly telling her, like, hey, look, blah, 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 da, da, da. You know, and she's like, you know, I even say, hey, look, blah, I feel like, you know, this, that, and the third. It's like, now she's trying to detract from the conversation, trying to back off, like, oh, let's talk about something else, let's talk about something. I'm just like, okay. You know, but what sucks about the situation is that I'm really trying to be cool. I'm really trying to make up, and yet you avoid the conversation outright. And that hurt. That hurt. But it gets really bad. During this conversation, you know, we joke around. We're like, everything seemed innocent. We're watching videos with each other, we're playing games, we're doing all this stuff. And yet, you know, out of nowhere, I make a joke. You know, about her weight. She's a skinny girl, but apparently she took that seriously. She took that seriously. And next thing you know, she hung up on me. I didn't think nothing of it. I literally did not think anything of it. I let her. This is the second time she's hung up. One time, when it was her and her friend Tina, I was like, oh man, there's a picture of a beautiful girl there. And so is there too. Man, this girl got so mad at me, she hung up. So I'm thinking nothing of it. Then, I come home for work. I'm going on ward tune for a little bit. I get a Skype message saying, prepare to have a rude awakening from my friend from Tennessee. And her friend was like, how dare you make a joke about blah blah blah. She is beautiful and da 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 da. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I got your message from your friend. What's her point? She literally says, what I said was disgusting, and she don't think me and her could be friends anymore. And I said to myself, what? But it was a joke. But she's like, I'm not playing. So meanwhile, I'm walking, and like now, I'm having anxiety because it's like, you want me to apologize? At this moment, I've apologized too many times. I've apologized way too many times. I feel like I don't have to apologize, and I'm not going to apologize. And I almost caved in that day. But the problem was I was begging her to stay. That was the big thing. She wanted me to quote unquote say my piece, but like, she wanted me to submit to her, but I didn't. But the biggest mistake was I should have just let it go, regardless of the fact. And I did it because I was so engulfed with the fact that I was in love with this girl that I didn't want to let her go. Or I didn't want to let it go like that. I wanted to have a nice conversation. I wanted her to be a woman and say, hey, we can only be friends. You cannot go after me like that. I don't like you like that. But she said it was okay to do that. You know, and I know certain people will probably be like, when is okay? It's never okay to do that. Hey, if it was never okay to do that, you should have told me. But you don't want to tell me. I'd rather be told that. You know, her boyfriend's never had an issue with me, even to this day. But why? But regardless, the next day, my body went into disgusting shock. It was in such bad shock, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I only had 2 hours of sleep. I was through such anxiety, my body was stiff. My body was so stressed out. There was a video on BuzzFeed that talks about going through a breakup and not having enough time to sleep. They were not wrong. The day that this girl back in 2014 moved to the Upper West Side, I couldn't even sleep till 5 a.m. the next day. Because I was going through such anxiety. The only thing that was making me able to sleep after this whole, falling out I had with her was putting in a Dragon Ball DVD that I had, a Dragon Box set I had, Season 2, and playing it to at least give me some sleep. And I got sleep. Ironically, I ended up getting sleep from this DVD. But what was sad was I didn't get enough. But it didn't bother me because I was still going through an anxiety. I couldn't eat. Couldn't do anything. And the minute I got a message from her telling her, you called me fat, I showed you my stomach, you hurt my feeling, we cannot be friends, just get your shit together and leave me. I was hurt. I was hurt. I enjoyed going to the Comic Con, the Super Con that year. I enjoyed it. You've seen my pictures, taking my pictures with Paige, and seeing Daniel Bryan, seeing the guy that played Darth Vader, seeing these actors, seeing seeing all these cosplaying people. Like, I got a bunch on my phone, but that was only the weekend. After the little situation I had with my aunt after I got home, which I thought was one of the dumbest things, I was at home and I was going through it. This was during the time, I was getting to know my friends in my own group a little bit more. This was during a hard time that I was going through. And then one time during July, I started drinking. I made a couple of status expressing my frustration of why I got cut off. Meanwhile, Tina Marie Gallo is liking these statuses that I can pull up, by the way. But I was in pain. So one time I went to that same Tennessee girl that cursed me out, and I told her something. Because the next day after this, she's over here telling me, the next day after the girl cut me off, this Tennessee woman, said Tennessee woman was like, oh, blah, 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 she's more than you don't deserve to be her friend, and she's fat, and not fat, she's beautiful, you don't tell other people like that, it's obvious you never got a girlfriend, but if she was, she's stupid, and blah, blah, blah. By the way, I remember those words. It's very funny how things come back full circle. There's an interesting story about the Tennessee girl that I'm going to keep just between me and a couple of people I told. Oh yeah, I got something interesting from her one time. But this is not part of the story, and I will not sensationalize this with some kind of heartbreak story. Maybe. But I digress. Back to the point. I got drunk and I got courageous one day, and I told her. And this is the quote. It was a joke, and if she is going to get offended by a joke, then it's probably because she is getting fat. Unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to stress out that after this message, what happened ended up being a very, very, very deep, dark night. Because the Tennessee woman ended up telling the girl what happened. And we had a nice long texting conversation. And I want to let you guys know this. I'm reading you these texts word for word. Jamaican Gamer, if you're mixing this or watching this, thank you for putting up with my story. All my friends, if you're listening, thank you. And I want to let you guys know this. I was going to read this text to you because I showed two people. And probably two people that you guys know you guys aren't really familiar with in the group. But I digress. I showed them to those two people, and even those people were surprised of what the text went down. Now you'll see me go out of my element a little bit, but I have the text message. And hopefully, if you guys are listening, you guys know that rather showing you, I want you guys to hear this, so I will never bring these words to life again. And I also want to warn you guys, this is the first time reading this, so I might feel a type of way. And right now I have a little bit of anxiety building up because this is the first time I'm reading these toxic words. But it's time to read them, because I have to go back to this past to try to move on here. So without further ado, here we go. Now after I told her these quotes, The Tennessee girl responded to something, but I chose to ignore it because it wasn't anything important. But then a couple of days later, I'm walking home. And I'm walking home to finally a response. I haven't talked to this girl since June. Now it's July at this time, at this moment, at that moment that we have this conversation. And it's the first time she texts me. And it gets worse from here. So here we go. The girl copies and texts what I told the Tennessee girl. What I told her about the joke. My response is, if we can't talk about this, say your piece. Her response is, go fucking kill yourself. You were never a friend. You were a fucking loser. You said a few nice things. Nothing I've never heard before. You are not special. You aren't the best. You can't prove you're the best. You added all my friends. Delete them. They think you're a joke as well. You want some fire? Fucking get at it. You fucking loser. Highly. Don't care. You are. My response to that is, don't care. You are a succubus. As she interrupted my speech, she continues by saying, a highly functioning, autistic, low-life piece of shit. So I go on there and I respond, are you fat or no? She says, how dare you? You want it to go further? And I said, are you? She says, calling me fat? Bitch, you never had a girlfriend. You won't either. And my response is, well, are you? You want to see me pissed? She responds, you freaking got it. Let me tell you, man, I'm reading this and I'm still, right now I'm just shaking. I'm shaking literally. You can't see me right now because I'm using the fan. But I want to make sure that this girl is listening to what I gotta say, since she couldn't remember what she said. My response is, yes or no. Are you? You're just as bad as I am. Her response is, I am a succubus. I have plenty of people who genuinely care about me. Who do you have? No one. Because you use them like sheep is my response. Like me. I made a joke and you cut me off. Her response is, everyone talks junk about me. Left and right at the bar. So I don't know, man. Deal with your own shit. You made a joke. Jokes are funny. And my response is, yet you held it in. Her response is, you are just sad. You have to bring people down and make them feel bad. My response is, I loved you and you used my heart. Her response is, I did nothing to you. I listened to you. I talked to you. After you would beg. And my response is, really? So my words before were genuine? Hers was, I have driven you home. My brother has too. And you wrote pervy journals about me. So calling you beautiful, did I mean a lot? Am I correct? She says, you're disgusting. I saw everything you wrote from the Tennessee girl. And my response is, but all my words from that book came from my heart. She says, you are a loathsome piece of shit. My response is, I know you are fat. Her response is, you deserve nothing. You will never find love. My response is, I did. Her response is, you won't find anyone who cares about you. I fucking hate you. My response was, with you. I loved you no matter what. And I'm pretty sure I know how this went, but I'm going to take this further. She said that I am a soulless fuckface. I never looked at you as fat. And she said no, laughing at me. Laughing at me. If you don't believe me, guys who are listening, I want you guys to hear this. And I said no. She said, after what you wrote to the Tennessee girl, you can go die. And I told her, you cut me off because I did it to make a point. Are you fat or no? Answer the question. I'm a piece of shit because you are fat, right? She said she deserved me as a friend. She didn't deserve me as a friend either, and I'm good to her. I am sorry I wasted my time and yours to do this, but now it's on Skype for her and you to see. I don't deserve you. You as a friend, bitch, I don't need you as a friend. No car, no house, no nothing. So before you bring me a step lower than you, fucking check yourself. I just did. And you're calling me fat again? I weigh 115 pounds. What you weigh? 152, you tiny ass loser? Now you get my responses. Now you get the irony? Yeah, I am. But I can embrace my weight. You, what? You don't know was that I wrote how I felt if you got fat? And she said, no, you did not find love with me. I loved her boyfriend. Would never love a cunt fuck who would call me fat. I wrote, no matter how unattractive you would get, I would love you. Like you called him, right? And I did. And she replied to, like I called who? Question marks. Motherfucking pardon? Your boyfriend. That I called him fat? Or pull that shit up. Love to see that. Well, she kind of screwed up here. Come on, guys. If you have questions, texts are still here. I'll show you guys my proof. Well, now you get the irony. I care about you. I still do. Her response is, she didn't deserve me as a friend either. And I'm sorry. Well, I already said what, she pretty much repeated what I told her. She said, the fuck you gotta say about that? Your autistic views, FFS. I said, before you cut me off, did you feel the way you feel about me? Do you hate me the way you hate me now? And she responds, I have no fucking idea what the fuck that means. Nope, now I hate you more. I hope you are having a shitstorm of laughter if you think I will have everything to do with you ever. You are highly mistaken. And my response is, did you really think my words meant nothing? Oh no, you meant every word. So my words back then do mean nothing. And she says, I'm fucking sure. So I respond, so I was real when I told you were special. And she said, you called me fat and then talked to my friends. You're not fat like you said, right? I was joking. And her response is, delete my friends. They think you're freaking weird and fuck and think you're a joke. You probably never seen me this mad, but I don't give a fuck. And I said, I'm glad. I know. I loved you. And her response is, no, you fucking didn't, you crazy motherfucker. Yes, I did. And she said, you never had me. You would never. Break your sorry ass heart. I don't give a fuck. So fucking done after what you read, what I what I read, what you sent to the Tennessee girl. And I said, what did I what what did I send you then? And she said, you literally are crazy. My response is, aren't you? Didn't you say your friend's crazy? She says, no, honeybee. I friends who call and text and are excited to see me, crazy ass. You are just plain crazy as fuck. And my response is, like I was, and I was heartbroken when you cut me off. And her response is, good, because you're fat, right? And she says, I have never cut someone off like this, but I have never had someone who keeps going on about how fat and thinks it's okay to say that shit. And my response is, you says you aren't. I know you aren't. You will never find a girl because a woman who wants you. Childish as fuck. My response is, you are mad because you're fat. Otherwise it wouldn't be like this. She says, aw, cute, because you're a twat. My response is, you know what, I'm over it. Until you can deal with this fat, so say your piece. And she said, nah, you're pathetic and haven't had a girlfriend. The best. Laugh my ass off. You freaking wish. I love you, but come back when you are not chasing what's not there. Her response is, the best at being a loser. Ah, cute. Fuck no. Say your piece. Better than you. And she said, fuck you. I came at you because you're a fucking retard. Have fun working your minimum wage job for the rest of your life. Better than me, you live with your aunt. Yeah, you know, she's right on about that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about that too. Back to the story. And you live with no one. And she says, besides my boyfriend? Good one. Yeah, no one. She says, no college, no car, doing good for yourself? Same to you. Or you are doing them. She says, yeah, he guy, I have sex with everything. Good one again. So I said, all you have is sex? So you're fat and a whore. Look, it's late. I gotta work. Either we bury the hatchet or no. Otherwise, say your piece and fuck off. And her response is, LOL, at least I have someone who loves me. Who do you have? Oh, your couch. That you live in your aunt's house. Once again, you got me there. Gotta take the bus to work. Ah, the life you have is great. And I said, better than yours. And she responds, that I have a car and money? Yeah, so terrible for me. You're so right. I can still develop my life, is my response. You can't drive a stick, remember? And it's not yours. Yep, something shit on a college education. Yeah, LOL. When? Now? I can drive stick now. Good one. Okay. My response is, and side note, this is the best conversation I've ever had with you. Her response is, honestly, I just pitied you. And I said, no problem. Sarcasm. She said, really, do, no lie. And I said, you're chasing what's not there. I may be struggling, but I am building my own life. She says, oh, cute. Sorry. Her boyfriend is the funniest, intelligent, bearded beauty every way. Would love him to death. And I said, after you are done sucking the life out of his pockets? She says, you laugh my ass off. I saw that dumbass post you protest, chasing what's not there. You post run circles around you. Oh, no wonder he's lost so much weight. I guess you found the weight he lost. She says, what's your net worth? This guy would like to know. I said, passive amount. Minimum wage, I know he has a lot. What's your net worth? She says, this guy's net worth is 400 grand in climbing. And I said, and what's yours? Curious. 1,500 in climbing. I said, no, I mean not your net. I mean your net worth. your net worth, not this guy's net worth. She says, you don't work. You eat, but you don't work. That's mine. What the hell, dumbass? Sounds like the same to me. You don't think I've been investing? Wow. By the way, after all this is settled, she come to find out she lied about a lot of stuff. So, how does that make her feel? Anyway, back to the conversation at hand. What, in fast food? Go jog laps. And with the money you still have, you haven't left the Upper West Side? I guess this person is right. Maybe you want to stay. She says, yeah, no one wanted you at the bar, so really, but I'm still there. Had people coming up to me asking me if you were handicapped. And you are terrible for keeping it to yourself. Keeping what to myself? I work while you get handed stuff. All the things they say about me are true. You couldn't tell me once during a friendship. You think I'm bad. You're just as bad. I truly am good for you, and you broke my heart. You may live a great life, but mine will become much better than yours. Geez, 2015 Jamil. Are you doing a little bit of epic foreshadowing here? Well, let's find out. Highly doubt it. I see you living with parent for the rest of your life. But okay, we'll see. Why didn't you tell me about what they said about me? That makes no sense. Who and what? You told me people in the place told you that I was handicapped. Why didn't you tell me? And her response is more like autistic. Are you hurt? Good. I was hurt the day you cut me off is my response. I just want to know, why didn't you tell me? Her response is more good. Scorn me. You have scorned me over and over and over, not thinking about what cruelty you'd bring. But you did just as bad. And she says, no, oh, you have unleashed mean, the name of the girl. And my response says, no, I released a succubus. Say again, how I'm fat? I love those. I said, I don't care that you are fat or skinny. That's the point. You did. You have hurt me just as bad, but I did nothing. All I was doing was wondering why. I've been doing as you told me, getting myself together, but it wasn't enough. Her response is, succubus, a demon, definition of a succubus. No one cares about that. And my response is, that is only of you. The only thing is that you've never cared for me the day we met till the day you cut me off. And her response is, so, never had sex with you, never lead you on. Yeah. Even in your strange as fuck mind if I did. Well, tell me you cared before I said what I said, and I'll apologize. Can screenshot all day is her response. Obviously you don't know what a succubus is. My response is, not answering the question. I hate to have come to this. Her response is, no, listen, I'm done with you apologizing. I'm done. You have done so many mean things after I have taken my time out of my day to drive you home and spend time at my house. You're disgusting. After all the shit you posted. So you did care. Because I thought you didn't. She says, so optimistic. Fuck you. No. Yes. You taught me that. And her response is, are you brainwashed? Did you forget all the shit that you just said? What you said to my friends? And my response is, no. I can't take back what I said because I'm owning my shit. She is, are you so dumb-witted to understand? Hey, you want to hear a joke? Can I give you the time to say yes or no? Then I will text, talk to you and leave you alone. Otherwise, if I can't, I can have my time, say your piece, and leave me alone. Response is, you are highly functioning autistic that everyone talks shit behind your back. Ha! So funny, am I right? My response is, and you are a fat succubus. Yes, you never had sex, but you drained energy. You don't even know what a succubus is, oh my god. And a manipulating, escaping fallen angel that uses people. And once again, she uses the definition of a succubus, that I don't care. And she says, I have jokes too. And she says, there it is again. My response is, I will leave you alone. I hope we can make up one day. Until then, say your piece. At this point, I took a cue from Jamaican Gamer, where he had a conversation with a buddy of, let's just say a falling out with a certain person, and he pretty much was just like, you know what, we're just talking in circles, so I'm just going to end this right here. Her response is, oh, did you lose your virginity to me? Oh no, agreement lost. Laughed my ass off. Bitch, I told you say your piece, and you failed. You couldn't say your piece to me. Fucking coward. I had to delete you from everything, and you couldn't say shit. I said I tried, except oops on your Facebook. Oh, so cute. You couldn't let me. Look. My response is, look, you couldn't let me. I loved you, and I'm sorry. I will leave you alone. I hope we can make up. Just say your piece. She says, oh yeah, because Facebook wasn't an option. Yeah, wow, no. After that shit, you fuck, after all that shit you said, fuck, no. My response is, night, we will, I am confident. Her says is, and she says, my boyfriend says you're a freaking loser and your ego's what's keeping you there. And I respond, because I know my worth. I am the greatest anti-hero since Batman. I don't know why I just said that, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. I thought about that. She said, which is $50 in your account? No. I played along the whole you being the best. Lies. You're not the best. You call women fat. Yeah, I do, but that don't mean shit. I'm still the best. And I said, I am. She says, and worse. The autistic speaking out. I said, no, I called you fat. I'm clinically and mentally healthy. She says, and I'm calling you homeless when no one wants to take you in. Fuck with me when I'm mad. And my response is, money doesn't make you better. And her response is, but at least I have a house. And my response is, like your mom took you in? No, you don't. She said, like, she raised me? Shared bank accounts? Once again, that's his money, not yours. My response is, I'm still better. I'm working on my life. She says, with $50 to your name? She says, well, you got yours handed. And she says, and you pay what, a phone bill? $50 is enough. She says, which is shit. School too. She says, school, okay. I said, yeah. You think I will be here forever too? You're just as dumb, but I still love you. Dumb. But thank you for talking to me. That's all I ask. No matter what you think of me, we will be friends again. I am confident. She says, highly doubt it. Said too much shit. Can't fuck with fake bitches. Doubt does not mean never. Night. That's my response. By the way, February 6, 2006. Thank you for the friend request. Let's keep it on if though. Yeah, so I was right the whole time. But let me tell you something. That was an extremely venomous conversation. Like I said, if you guys really want to see the text, I'll show you. At least my personal friends, not my YouTube viewers. And for the girl, I slipped up and said her boyfriend's name a couple of times, but I'm sorry. Hopefully if Jamaican Gamer gets the video, he can edit this out. But if not, oh well, it's unedited. I tried. Whoops, I guess this is about you. I don't know what happened, but I was hurt. I was saddened. I felt like wow, I can't believe she said that about me. And like I said, she ended up lying anyway because, well, it's not fair to say to say where she's at. But the point of the matter is, she told me, she said that because she was mad and she blacked out. So I want her to hear this because this is what you said. And the point of this is, this girl, tries to dismiss this as I was just drunk. You can't take that seriously. But I agree with Jamaican Gamer on one thing. Something brought those feelings out. Especially mentioning the book that I wrote about you. It wasn't a pervy book. It just somehow had a pervy story in the story. But the whole story was not about having sex with this person. It was about wanting to be with this person. And that really hurt me. Now, in my first unpopular opinion video, I mentioned, a topic on women, if you can find it on YouTube. And she called me because I mentioned her very briefly on that video, and she felt like she got torn a new asshole. That was not my intention. That was just to pretty much reflect and, express my frustration in general. It had nothing to do with her. This is not the video as well. When I am speaking on this video, this is speaking in a point of reflection. So I'm trying to be as respectful as I can by not disrespecting you or your friends. But, well, maybe Angela is a different story. But you said some things that I did not appreciate. And I hope you understand that. And you could delete them one day, but they will still be there. The fact that you said those words will still be there in your head. Even if you can't remember it, the fact that I'm bringing them up says a lot. And, I hope my friends doesn't try to use this as a way to be against you, because that's not the goal. But I hope you guys understand something here. This is a serious thing. And ever since then, that really made me think of who she really was. And it didn't sink in until later on of 2015. How bad this girl hurt me. Like, I knew she hurt me with those words, but it got worse. If you listen to my story on Angela Fontenot from the last Heartbreak Kid stories, the prequel, then you know what happened later on. When this girl told me that I was never her friend, and Angela straight up said that herself as well,
Good news, everyone.
it got worse. It got much worse. That was when I had a huge bit of hatred. Then I felt like those words were gospel. Those words were true. And the first lyric that came into my head. I thought of some rap verses that came in my head. And they go a little something like this. This is a rap verse from Chance the Rapper. I hope you get a paper cut on your tongue from a razor in a paper cup. I hope every soda you drink is already shaken up. I hope your dreams dry like raisin in the baking sun. I hope your titties all saggy in your early 20s. I hope there's always snow in your driveway. I hope you never get off at Fridays and you work at Fridays that's always busy on Fridays. I hope you win your lottery and lose your ticket. I hope it's a Ben and Socrates poop all up in your kitchen. I hope the zipper on your jacket gets stuck. And I hope your headphones short and your charger don't work. And you spill shit on your shirt. I hope your tears don't hurt. And I can smile in your face. Cut my losses, how Delilah changed my locks to fade. I hope you happy. I hope you're happy. I hope you ruined this shit for a reason. I hope you're happy. Why you always on my back? Why you gotta do me like that? I'm sorry. I was so angry. I really felt like I was being used. And I said it on the text, but it really became a thing. It was hard because I was angry. I was very angry at how used I felt, how much of a joke I looked, or how much of a, like, it didn't set in until it set in within a few months' time. How mad I was. By August I was furious, but by September, seeing her scarred me. Seeing her on Tina Marie Gallo's post scarred me. Like, I didn't want to see her. I didn't want nothing to do with her. You know, I was in the worst shape of my life, getting high and drunk behind the bar that slandered my very name. You know, making me paranoid. I was down. I was hurt. And I blocked her on Facebook. Not because of her, but because of me. I wanted to prevent myself from seeing her. And I was so mad at her, at this woman. I spent that entire 2015 year listening to a lot of Tupac, a lot of Biggie, some J. Cole here and there, some Kendrick. But one verse ultimately spoke up how I ultimately felt about her. And here it is. Loving you is complicated. 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 Loving you. Loving you. Loving you. I place blame on you still. Place shame on you still. Feel like you ain't shit. Feel like you don't feel. Confidence in yourself. Breaking on marble floors. Watching anonymous strangers telling me that I'm yours. But you ain't shit, I'm convinced your talent's nothing special. What can I blame you for? Nigga, I can name several. Situation had stopped with your little sister Bacon. A baby inside, just a teenager. What's your patience? Where was your antennas? Where were your influence you speak of? You preached in front of 100,000 but never reached her. I fucking tell you, you're fucking failure. You ain't no leader. I never liked you, forever despised you. I don't need you. The world don't need you. Don't let them deceive you. Number lies too. Fuck your pride too. That's for dedication. Thought money could change you. Made you more complacent. Fucking hate you. I hope you embrace it. Loving you, not loving you, 100 proof. I could feel you vibe and recognize that you're ashamed of me. Yes, I hate you too. I was so mad at this girl. I was thinking of rapper. I actually wanted to become a rapper. I made a couple of rap verses. I wanted to make a project called the Hatred Project. And I had a few songs in my head. Some dedicating it to my past. This whole project dedicating it to her. Because I wanted to attack her mainly. And I might as well rap this one too. Because it just showed me how angry I was back then. Now, I saw the Straight Outta Compton movie. And in this movie, you know, they're telling you the history. Ice Cube breaks up acrimoniously with the NWA, which describes me acrimoniously falling out with this girl. And in this song, I was so mad, I wanted to make everyone angry. So the first two verses I wrote were a part of rape culture. I know certain friends who are into the feminist spectrum ain't gonna like that. But that's okay, it's called the Hatred Project for a reason. It was an album full of hate. But this third verse, I ain't never dissed no one in a verse, or at least made it into an actual song. But this one takes the cake. Ice Cube makes a song called No Vaseline. And any hip-hop head that listens will know what the song is about. But this song right here is supposed to be a parody of No Vaseline. I don't want to call it a parody. It's a cover of a No Vaseline. And this verse was definitely a verse. If anyone listened to No Vaseline, then you'll get how this works. And here we go. The third verse is going to the redhead. The third verse is going to the redhead. The third verse is going to the redhead. And when I see you again, I won't be hesitant. And now I think you a witch. Throw a ginger right in the ditch, redhead bitch. Fucking your homeboy, you little maggot. Turned faggot. With your ego all shyster. With your ego on shyster. Fucking dumbass Angie. But if they were as smart as me, we'll be hanging from a tree. With no Vaseline. Just a match and a little bit of gasoline. Light 'em up, burn 'em up, flame on. Till that red hair is gone. On a permanent vacation. Off the white girl plantation. Heard you really share a bank account. Dumb ginger, what the fuck you talking about? Get rid of that devil real simple. Put a bullet in her head, in her temple. 'Cause you can't be happy that long with a red head making you all tame. Pulling woods with the scams. Now I gotta play Silence of the Lamb. Did I mention she's a punk too? Trying to fuck me, but I'd rather fuck you. Bitch always into something. Getting fucked at night. By this sick rapper. Bend over for the sick black rapper. No Vaseline. Motherfucking foster home living ass motherfucking redhead like Irish bloke motherfucking bitch. Yeah, I was that mad. And there's a few songs in here, in this book. But it's weird. I went back to my history, but I had to say what I had to say. Because it just showed me, I ain't never been unhappy in my life. Ever since then. A while back, while I'm meeting more people, more friends, trying to better off myself. I met Jamaican Gamer for the first time, and I'm always making jokes about this woman. And he always said, "Damn, what has this girl done to you?" Well, if you're listening to this video, you got your answer. Now, if you are here from an hour and 15 minutes, plus the other 60 that I made from 2 parts of this story, then I want to give you guys a pat on the back, a pat on the shoulder. This is the longest story I've ever done. Possibly the longest. There's always time to take a break, but it's that bad. And the good thing is, later on that year, I wanted to make up, but I will put that into the second part of the story. Me and this girl ended up making up, became friends again, but at that moment, I just knew it just wasn't the same. Because I ain't never had to do something like this. I ain't never had to experience something like this. But it was that bad. It was really that bad. Now my mouth is all dry and stuff. Now I need to drink some water. because I was so anxious to read this, and freaking dehydrated and shit. But I'm gonna go get some water. And this officially ends the first tale between two gingers. Now I'm going to go to sleep because it is 1:39, and I hope everyone else has a good night. With that being said, stay tuned for the second tale. Good evening, this is Shake Master J. I am recording live at your local Fridays as usual. And I figured since I come here most of the while, I might as well like to promote a little something. No, I was not given any permission from a certain person or anybody. It's just a recommendation from me. Trust me, if I was given permission to back them and they're sponsoring me, I'd need a royalty check. But, God knows I need the money. But it's not about that. What it is about is, something special. Friday's rewards. As I read off this little bulletin, I can tell you some things that it comes with. For one, if you sign up for a Friday's reward card, you get a free app dessert just by joining them anytime. You just download the mobile app on your phone. You can just join it without needing a phone. You just need a number. You can check online. The app is free. There's so many perks that you can get. Like I said, free dessert for your next visit. You get points when you eat. Free food, free rewards, free birthday dessert. My birthday's coming up in September, so I can't wait. Special event access. You get previews to certain menus and promos for anything else. And this is just a couple of things I just nailed. Like I said, all you just gotta do is go on your phone, download the app. It's not that simple. Be registered. You don't gotta pay a fee or anything like that. You go to Fridays, put your number down that you registered your phone with. They get the number. They give you the points for how much you get. And they can tell you, likely you get food off. You get a lot of stuff. And I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it. The Fridays app is pretty convenient for me. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah. Make sure you get the Fridays app, sign up, and you'll be on your way. Shake Master J, signing out. And yeah, get that app. I'm telling you, you'll love it. Link will be in the description. Be there, be square. Good afternoon, gentlemen. The time is 1:28 p.m., May 7th, 2016. And I guarantee you this is the last part and the second tale between two gingers. Because I spent so much energy on this topic. But it's to get it out and to just be done with it. And if any of my friends have a question, we could sit down and listen together. But here we go. Because I want my friends to hear this. Maybe on a nice ride, a car ride, whatever the case is. I want this to be spoken and heard. So you heard the last tale and the venomous tale of the first ginger, of the woman who I was in love with and who played a huge role in, pretty much basically the series and my mind. This second tale added on to it. Now, very briefly in my last part, I mentioned Tina Marie Gallo. Where does she come to play? Very simple. After getting into a huge verbal destruction of war of words between the girl and the first ginger, I would like to call her. Now I wanted to go after Tina because I liked her and I found her attractive. Now the thing was, as you guys remembered in my last tale, the first ginger pretty much told me that I was being weird and I was talking to her friends and I should delete all of them because they think I'm a joke. These were her texts. I just knew once people started getting involved in what I did and what I post, the fact that someone showed her my last post back in June of that year of me being so much better showed me that there are people watching me. And there are a lot of people watching me. And I want to make a statement that you're not going to do that to me. Now it was time for retaliation. So I pretty much, what I did was I opened up a Tumblr account because I want people who are listening to the story, who are loyal enough to stay without taking a break, to understand that I am not the victim in this story. I also played a terrible role in this part. I did stuff I shouldn't have done, and I take full responsibility of this. This is what this session is about. That's why I don't want the girl to get attacked. That's why I didn't say her name, because I felt like she didn't deserve to be attacked. She doesn't deserve to be, attacked. But the reason why I'm saying Tina's name is specifically for these reasons. I opened up a Tumblr account. It was called The Heartbreak Kid, based off a motivation I got from Paige over at the SuperCon back in June of that year. So around July, I decided to make a page to see, pretty much to weed out all of the first ginger's friends. So I made a story about having sex with this woman being obese, being fat. I made all these alliterations and these imageries of food, just really getting into the topic, just really, really getting into it. No, I'm not going to read it, but it was that bad. Next thing you know, a couple of friends I knew from high school, won't say their names, read the comment and said, "Wow, holy crap." I even got a message, a girl messaged me, a girl I knew from high school messaged me, and she's like, "Dude, what are you doing? What kind of shit is that? You can't do that. That's fucked up." At first I was leaning back towards it, then I realized I'm not apologetic with my shit. I said what I said. Oh fucking well. If you got your feelings hurt, well, you got your feelings hurt. Me at the time, I was starting to lose my mind. I literally starting to lose my mind. Now I was not thinking right. But I wanted to weed out more people in the process. So I made out names I made up names. I said stories. Then I involved Tina in the story. I went up and I posted a story about her in great detail. And then I mentioned Angela. And people could tell me, well, you buried her in the last video. Why are you making a sex story about her? Hey, just because I hate her didn't mean I wouldn't have sex with her. It's like that promo Chris Jericho cut on Monday Night Raw the other day when he talked about kissing Stephanie. It's like going the side of the road and you see roadkill and you just look at it and you want to take it one step further. You know, I never said Angela was not attractive. I told you. I thought she was the most attractive person in that group. But I wrote that then I wrote two stories of, you know, the girl and Tina. I want to see how much I could write before someone said something. And then the tale between two gingers came up. And finally someone spoke up. It was a loyal friend of the girls. Won't say her name. But this friend, and I confronted her on it, and she told me everything. Turns out she read a lot. And to be honest with you, I don't care. Because at this time, I knew what I was doing, and I got their attention. You know, seeing Tina like 3 of my stuff, getting into my business, even if those weren't her intentions, but she did like the stuff. I knew right then and there, I told myself, no. Hell no. Y'all gonna stop getting on my business. It was pretty much to throw the bait in and lure them both in. It was that bad. It was that bad. I did that. And the battle got too hot for the friend and Tina. But I wasn't done there. They tried backing away from me, and I kept going. My attempt was to scare Tina into feeling uncomfortable, and I am wrong for that. And the reason why I'm saying Tina Marie's name is because if you look at my Facebook page back in 2015, it was all over the place. I made posts about her. If you look at my Instagram pictures, it's there. Am I ashamed of that? Yeah, I could say that, because that retaliation made me look worse than I should have just let it alone and let karma take its place. But I kept it going. My goal was to set an example to this woman that cut me off. I am not someone you want to mess with. But it made me look crazy. Saying Tina's name, making posts saying this is me and her. Even at one point calling me her wife. Calling her my wife. I went overboard. I went extremely overboard. My friends knew what was going on. And I'm over here putting spins on the things I've said just to give my words credibility, when at the end of the day, it was creepy. It was creepy, it was uncalled for, and it's fucked up. And what was weird was I ended up really becoming attracted to this woman. And that was a bad thing. And what happened was during this process of doing all this shameful stuff to my page, Angela comes up and tells me that she's going to file a restraining order. And she looked at me as a threat. I felt two ways about it. First, I felt hurt because no one's ever called me a threat in my entire life, even through my stories. But then I felt happy for some strange reason, because I wanted them to believe that you barked up a tree that fell on you, and this is your result. But then, even though the girl told me this in the last part of this here series, when Angela told me what she said and what I told you in the story about Angela, now I was mad. I lost my damn mind, officially. Now, I snapped. I didn't like where I was at. I didn't like what I was doing. So now, I rethunk my strategy and started doing something a little bit different, because now I was tired of seeing this girl. I was doing well for myself. Now I was finally on the verge of, saving my money up to invest in things. I was getting out of my Dunkin' Donuts job, going into Home Depot. I was going into a different circle, and I was getting out of the bar I usually went to, and I started becoming a regular somewhere else. The problem was, I kept seeing this girl with a picture of Tina. Tina wasn't an issue, because I liked Tina. I really did. And I know Tina was just doing nothing but protecting her friends. So I had no issue with Tina whatsoever. But it was her friend, the girl. I had an issue. And I knew I was never going to get it out my mind until I start aiming for people's heads. I start coming at people's heads now. So here's what I did. Throughout the end of 2015, I devised a plan. When 2015 ended, I was in hiding before then. I started coming out, slowly but surely, sending cryptic texts to some of the group people. It's not the group members, not my group members, but some of the people in this girl's group. Because I was starting to be happy, but I will never be relieved until I start letting people know how I feel. So, although I thank Tina for being responsible for a lot of it, because thanks to her and thanks to Tina kind of got me out of that rut in a way, and she never did anything but, made me realize how strategic I can be in certain things. when it comes to saving up and leaving and all this. Like, I like Tina just for that. That I ended up, she was like a crutch for me, I guess. She was like a crutch to help me recover, like a rehab. And I was doing well. That eventually I ended up attacking the one friend that told Angela, Tina, and the woman about my Tumblr page. I attacked this friend on her birthday. I put a picture of an overweight goat, and I said the worst things ever. And the sad part about this whole situation was I felt criminally relieved because certain people in that circle responded, but I didn't care because my group members, my friends, defended me. They said, well, I respect Jamil. Like, they really saw what I was doing and realized, holy shit, Jamil, what did you just do? I led an example. I made an example out of people in this woman's group. That's what I just did. And I didn't stop there. I went back to my old Tumblr ways and I made a story calling this woman the devil in a very disrespectful manner. I have a book that you're familiar with in my last video about Angela, but I also wrote a story about this woman also. No, I'm not going to read it. It's not worth it. But my plan was to let her know how I felt on her birthday. So I launched a preemptive strike by sending her this page. Because all I ever wanted was an apology. I wanted an apology. Like, that's all I ever wanted. And she talked to me. She sent me something the first time ever since our bitter talk back in July of 2015. And she was down to talk. She seemed to be of a better mind as she told me that she's a bit more different now. She apologized for some of the things she said. She said she didn't remember it, but she apologized. And that's all I ever asked. So as painful as those texts are, even if whether she means it or not, you know, how I felt, I forgave her. Because that's all I'm going to get is an apology. And it's better to forgive someone when they take back what they said. And it made me feel better. When it came to the girl I roasted on her birthday, the damage was done. The damage was done. You know, it was that bad, and I'm going to let Tina, the girl, the woman I roasted, and Angela know something. My own friends didn't want me to put this out. They didn't want me to put that roast out on this girl's birthday. They didn't want me to do this. They were disagreeing with it. You know, I had a conversation about it with Jamaican Gamer and another person. Jamaican Gamer was trying his hardest not to make me put it out, because he didn't know what the repercussions were. I didn't care because I was so set in my ways and my mind was made up. And the other person cried about it, because he was worried about my own safety. But I think I looked at it as they don't care what I say. It's better to just get it out and be done with it, because they can just ignore it like they say they do. So when I said it, it was relieving, and I moved on, because I said what I needed to say, and I was done. But the girl apologized, so I didn't need to roast her. It would make no sense, and I let it go. But there was one person that I needed to let go of, and that was Angela. And the sad part is, all I ever wanted to do was talk to Angela, or tell her. We didn't have to have a conversation. She didn't have to forgive me, and I didn't, I wasn't asking for much. All I had to do was just let her know how angry she made me. And y'all know how angry she made me in that last video, when she kept invalidating herself in certain situations that she did not need to be in. And what made me mad was the fact that the woman told me not to do that. Like, she kept giving me things about, it's something going on with yourself, that she's doing fine, this, that, and the third. Like, you're letting her, and I'm saying to myself, that's, no, And yeah, she told me I should have a long conversation with myself before I ever do anything to try to get over it. I did. I've had a really long conversation with myself. And I realized something. There are a lot of things I don't like about myself. Like, I don't like the fact that I get envious of people because I don't like where I'm at in my own life. I don't like where I'm at in my own life, and I get envious of people, whether it be popularity, where they're at in finance. But then listening to Logic's album and a song where he tells you you're not your bank account, you're not your car, you're not this, you're not that, you're 6 feet under. And I realized I may not like where I'm at, but I know where I'm going to be. My current situation is not my final destination. Or I don't like at the time. Now, I've gotten rid of that because I felt like I got what I needed out of it. I didn't like how I needed some girl to complete me. I didn't like how I need attention. I didn't like any of that stuff. But as I tell myself the things I don't like about myself, I realize they got nothing to do with me taking my anger out on Angela. They got nothing to do with the fact. It was the fact that Angela had no business being a part of my situation. My friends don't get your business. She shouldn't get in mine. Bottom line. And you defended her every time. And that's fine. That's your friend. But the least you can do for me, is the least you can do is, can you understand why it's frustrating to me? I mean, this girl is over here, I understand defending you, but this girl's over here looking at my statuses, some that got nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with the girl. It has nothing to do with the girl, and yet Angela makes a big thing about it. Angela and the other girl who I roasted, like, they have nothing to do with that, but apparently it's about her. Apparently it's about this. It's about the girl, which really hurt me. And why should I not roast Angela when we haven't hung out in a while? I felt like the girl never took me seriously enough. I mean, if she was my friend, she would understand. And I'm not saying she's not my friend, but I feel like she doesn't take me seriously. I mean, me and Tina, back in March, had a huge argument at her house. And boy, I couldn't have been more attracted to her after that. But I digress. Yes, Jamaican gamer, this is the infamous cracker incident. You know, me and Tina, we go at it. We have this argument at the girl's house, and yet for some strange reason I made it about it was my fault, because apparently it was about me leaving. She felt like I wanted to stay. No, I didn't want to stay. I didn't want to sleep over. Like, that wasn't my intention. I just wanted to do some stuff, and it just felt like everything was getting cut short, and I was getting circles run around me. Like, that hurt. But it's in the past, you know. But I felt like you didn't take me seriously because the way we had the conversation afterward, it was like this whole thing was my fault. And I said, I have no problem taking responsibility, but I cannot take 100%. It doesn't matter. I did not start the argument. I didn't. Tina did. But it's my fault. And I can't even roast Angela? Like, I don't think you take me seriously. And I started having a huge crush on Tina. And I started talking to her, and I started making certain moves. Like, the new place I went, didn't even know she was working there at the time. But when she was, you know, if she served my table, I gave her a huge tip. You know, I was just trying to... like, I wasn't even doing anything but giving her the best customer service ever. Or not customer service, but giving her the best reception ever, you know. It's not like freaking Malachi Love Robinson who just don't tip. Like, I wanted you to understand where I was coming from. I wanted you to be happy where I am in life. Because you were really cool. Like, me and Tina actually became cool friends for like a brief moment of that 2016 year. I enjoyed talking to her. I told her she really made me happy. I even said before 2016, she's made me the happiest I've ever been in a really, really long time. And she did. So in my video of the unpopular opinion, where I briefly mentioned on it, you know, and the girl was telling me I should move on, it's like, come on, dude, why are you doing this? You know, let her tell me that she's not my type. Let her dump me to the side. I'm feeling like my feelings are getting hurt. I am not in love with Tina McGowan. I'm not saying that, but I had a huge crush on her. And I enjoyed hanging out with her. She gave me a really great birthday. Wouldn't call it the best, but she gave me a good birthday. But all good things come to an end. What changed my perspective on women was this and this only. One day, as I was starting to move out of my uncle and aunt's house, I get a text after I just had service from Tina. And all of a sudden she's mad at me because she was getting sent dirty calls. But it wasn't me. And I was literally letting her know, and then her boyfriend called me, angry. And I'm saying to myself, yo, what's going on here? I'm not doing anything wrong. And next thing you know, he says straight up, it's okay. I know you have a crush on the girl, but it's okay. You can have a crush on her. I didn't care what he said after that, but nothing. Ain't no but. I didn't care. The minute he said that I can have a crush, I immediately threw a red flag, and I said to myself, I can't be around this girl no more. Now, anyone that's here wrecking happy homes, good for you. But me, even if I were to do something with Tina, it just didn't feel right to be told it was okay. Especially with the other girl's boyfriend not minding my presence at all. And yet he knows, and I've told him that I had a crush on it. I was in love with his girlfriend. I do not want to hear that it's okay. And me and my friend had a conversation on the other day in her car about this. Certain girls, and I'm not blaming the girl or Tina for this, but she would never, ever, ever force a friendship with a guy who feels uncomfortable with her, because she's not really into relationships, She's not the relationship kind, what I mean? She feels freedom. She's not thinking about a relationship at the moment. She's enjoying being single at the time because of her own reasons. And if a guy were to ever come up and tell her that he likes her, she will straight up say that she's not looking for a relationship. But if she wants to be friends platonically and nothing after that, that's fine. If not, then she doesn't blame you for it. At the end of the day, she won't lead you on. She won't do nothing. And like I said, I'm not saying that the girl or Tina led me on, but I am saying that why is that okay? Why is that okay for me to stick around? That is not okay for me to stick around, even if you knew that. See, me and the girl can be friends now because before that rapport, I felt like I don't want to, I felt like I've known too much about this girl with the arguments and who she's with, that I just can't be with someone like this person. And someone like Tina, I just can't be with someone like Tina. No offense to them, because they're great people, but the women I like and the women I want to go after is far different from them. And I know one thing. If I'm ever dating a girl, if I'm ever in a relationship with a girl, and a guy has a crush on her, I will never tell him it's okay. I don't mind having a guy stick around if he knows what it is. But if the girl knows he likes her, I'm going to be straight up. If he just wants to be friends, that's fine. But my girl better, and I mean better, give him that ultimatum. Because if she doesn't, I'm not going to be happy. I would break up with this in an instant. Yes, that's a deal breaker for me now. I don't blame the guy for having a crush. But by not giving them the ultimatum first, before I do anything about it, it lets me know what kind of woman she is. And I don't know about you, but I will not co-sign something like that. So I had to detract myself away from Tina slowly, very slowly but surely. And although me and the other girl are friends, I couldn't like her the way I used to back in 2014. I couldn't be all googly-eyed. Someone even went on Facebook the other day and said, you know, why are you giving your heart to this girl? Stop acting like this girl is the only one that you can be vulnerable with. Otherwise, you'll get your heart broken. He's right. And I know I won't be that same person. So, you know, as much as I enjoyed I am grateful for the friendship of this girl, and I still want to be this girl. And if she takes it the wrong way, because this is not meant to destroy her character, like I said, but if she ends up taking this the wrong way, then I don't know what to tell you. Tina too. But until then, I'm doing what I gotta do in life. And I wish everyone the best, even Angela, unfortunately. But I have to. And I hope everyone uplifts themselves through peace, love, and a lot of positivity, and a lot of prosperity. And that's all I gotta say. Anyway, this is Shake Master J, ending this tale. And I'm signing off with a crotch grab. Peace. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is yours truly. Not necessarily here to talk about opinions or anything like that. And tonight's not the night. I felt like I ran out of gas getting into a conversation about just the whole Donald Trump presidency and all nonsense. I'll let you know when I have energy. If I say it again, it just feels like I sound like a broken record. But right now I'm at Fridays trying to recharge the lovely batteries as usual, you know. I did want to come here to pretty much make a promotion. I wanted to promote a product that I feel that you guys would enjoy, you guys would like, and that is power purchasing. Power purchasing is a really cool, really cool perk you want to use. I mean, I tell you about my job all the time. I work at Home Depot, so I get a set bill, and it comes out my paycheck. But really, what purchasing power is excuse me, what it is that it's a perk that you use in case, let's say, you don't have the money now. You can use an alternative payment that they can just take a couple of payments out your, transactions, like your account, and they pay at a certain time. And then when you do come up with the money, you can give the money pretty much to this company, and it's like putting a down payment on something and then having more money to put in return. This is like down payment for life. So for all y'all who are pretty much freaking out that Target only does layaway once in season, or if they do layaway over in Walmart once a season, you don't have to worry about purchasing power, because purchasing power is way forever. But no, I'm actually gonna go to Purchasing Power right now. No, I'm not sponsored by Purchasing Power. Yes, Purchasing Power. Cheap plug. Now I need my royalty. No, I just felt compelled because with this laptop, I want to get something new. I want to get something different. You know, I want to get something that's for me. Because right now, I've already got where I'm at, and I wanna take it higher. You know, so go on Purchasing Power. You can get a lot of stuff from laptops to TVs to just anything you want. You can get it, and I recommend you. I'll put the link in the description. It's just a nice advertisement. You'll love it. This is Shake Master J signing out, and yes, purchasingpower.com. Go there.